observation period, the operator and the results, either by a breath test or a blood test, can always be challenged. There are numerous ways to challenge these test results. You can test the accuracy of the calibration of the machine. You can test the credentials of the officer who is employing the test. There are other technical ways if the 20-minute observation period is not followed vigorously. On a blood test, there are strict requirements by law who can collect that blood sample and how it's got to be tested and the chain of custody. Each and every case, there are options available to find ways to suppress the results in either case.
Florida DUI cases built on faulty test results. Volume measured exceeded human lung capacity in some tests. By Todd Ruger. Posted October 8, 2011 at 9:22 p.m. For years, drivers across Florida have been arrested and convicted of DUI charges based on flawed alcohol breath test machines that reported impossible results. The problematic Intoxilyzer 8000 stayed in service, unquestioned, because state officials never tested a key component or performed mandatory reviews of every breath test. As a result, thousands of DUI breath tests taken on machines as far back as 2006 inaccurately measured the amount of breath being blown into them. Experts and a Sarasota County judge have now said the tests on one of the worst machines used in Venice cannot be relied on, raising questions of whether drivers statewide wrongfully face DUI charges. Inspectors in the process of checking every machine this year have so far found that about 40% of 231 machines were incorrectly measuring the flow of breath into the Intoxilyzer 8000, including machines in Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties. Since the breath flow sensors were not checked before 2008, there is no way to know how long they had been incorrectly calibrated since the machines went into service in 2006. FDLE started quietly fixing the machines in January and putting them back into service, without noting how far off the machines' measurements were. The officials are not informing defendants who may have been wrongfully convicted or unfairly lost their driver's licenses after being tested on the flawed machines. Venice defense attorneys first discovered the problem this year after noticing breath volumes that are humanly impossible. The machine at Sarasota County's South County Jail in Venice had reported that some drivers who have a maximum lung capacity of about 5 liters blew 10, 11, or even 12 liters of breath into the machine. A data expert also found that machine produced an unusually high number of drivers whose results showed blood alcohol levels 3 times the legal limit. It corrupted the alcohol measurement, said Thomas Workman, a Massachusetts lawyer, law professor, and computer expert hired to analyze the Intoxilyzer 8000 data. Accurately reading the amount of breath is key to ensuring the machine collected a quality sample to test, said Michael Malhiot, a former Intoxilyzer 8000 inspector for FDLE who now testifies as an expert on alcohol breath testing. You cannot analyze an improper sample, Malhiot said. But the problem may not stay hidden for long. A Sarasota County judge has ruled the results from the Venice machine are unreliable, and prosecutors had to send letters about the problem to dozens of current DUI defendants who tested on it. FDLE stands by the results from Intoxilyzer 8000 machines, although it has not done an analysis of the breath test data. Officials are relying instead on a requirement during the breath tests that 2 different samples have to agree with each other. That, they say, ensures that the breath samples are good and the breath test results are reliable, said Laura Barfield, who leads FDLE's program for approving and maintaining alcohol testing equipment. Volume is not important in the grand scheme of things, Barfield said. I would be the first one to pull these machines offline if I thought it was calculating alcohol levels wrong. In Venice, however, the expert says the data shows that the flawed breath volume calculation affected the blood alcohol level the machine eventually reported. For instance, drivers blowing into the flawed machine were 4 times as likely to test above 0.25, more than 3 times the .08 limit at which the state considers a driver impaired, according to Workman's analysis. I can't tell you why they're related, I can just tell you that they are, Workman said. The breath volume is important, ensuring that air comes from the deep part of the lungs, where blood and air interact inside the body. The first 1.1 liters of exhaled breath can come from the mouth, throat, and esophagus and contain alcohol still in the mouth or other contaminants that can produce artificially high results. A machine that incorrectly reads 1 liter of breath as 2 liters could be testing a bad sample. And a machine that incorrectly reads 2 liters as 1 could contribute to the conclusion that the user had refused to blow sufficient volume, which can mean the loss of a driver's license.
They have DUI, generally speaking, is a case about a good person in a bad situation. So you have this person that's emotionally devastated. They've been stopped by police. They've been forced to perform these circus tricks called field sobriety exercise on the side of the road. They've been slapped into handcuffs and thrown in jail like a common criminal. And now they have other worries. Not only do they have the worries that they would normally have because they're being prosecuted criminally, they have their job at stake. They have family issues that may arise from this. There's social stigma that may arise. And on top of that, the Department of Motor Vehicles is going after their driver's license even before they're convicted or have their first day in court.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.